Good afternoon from the Circus Sports of the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. In NFL news, the Miami Dolphins have released multiple veterans today, most notably being All-Pro wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Also, the Seahawks and Raiders have hired their offensive coordinators. Las Vegas is bringing in Seahawks QB coach Andrew Janocko to be their new OC, and Seattle is hiring 49ers tight end coach Brian Fleury. The Los Angeles Rams are now the lone team in need of an offensive coordinator. The Cleveland Browns also just hired their new defensive coordinator, Mike Rutenberg, who has been with the Falcons and Jets, most notably on the defensive side. Yesterday, in some NASCAR news, Tyler Reddick won his first ever Daytona 500 after not leading the entire race until the last lap. And lastly, in college hoops, Vandy and Tennessee both got wins on Saturday. The Commodores defeated Texas A&M 82-69 in Nashville as they were led by 25 points from Tyler Nickel. The Vols defeated LSU 73-63 in Knoxville as they were led by 22 points and 9 boards from freshman Nate Ament. Tonight we do have a top 5 Big 12 matchup as Houston heads to Iowa State, with tip-off scheduled for 8 p.m. in Ames. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news and wants on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. The fire may be gone from the Tennessee Titans logo, but it's not gone from this show. We'll always bring the heat on Blaine and Zach. And that's the hottest topic ever since Friday night. That's all anybody's been able to talk about is this new logo that leaked on a brown fuzzy football on fanatics.com. 615-737-1045. We want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Blaine, I guess I had a weird reply on one of the messages about the new color scheme. And I want to start with this because I thought this was the weirdest thing I have heard someone bring up associated with the color. Are players intimidated by team colors? Because I would assume not. Because someone said, I can't believe they're getting rid of the navy blue. It intimidates the other team. And I'm like, I'm just thinking about all the players that could wear, purple and pink and tutus and like if Lorenzo Neal wore a tutu, you think anybody's going to be not scared of him anymore? Because, he's going to make you feel it.
To be honest, I think people would be scared of that.
Maybe true.
Did Lorenzo Neal in a tutu, man.
Yeah.
That would be pretty bad. I don't know if we all want to see that in this world. But I don't think color scheme. That's kind of I can't even say college anymore, but that used to be a thing probably maybe in high school. You wear black. That's kind of a little more intimidating.
Yeah.
So I get where they're coming from, but in all, things in the NFL, I don't think any colors, any matter. You know what intimidates people? You knocking somebody's head off or them running somebody over. I think that's more in line to kind of my thought process. I don't want to get too far removed from fans and what they love to see, but that is not intimidating all the players. Anything. It's a cool thing, and to have different colored jerseys and all that. But I mean, if it's some NFL players that get intimidated by some colors at that point, man, boy, I don't know how much longer they'll be in the league, how long they'll be playing. So I don't know about that.
Right, because I'm just imagining we could put you in any color back when you were playing.
I don't think
I don't think everybody's still gonna be scared of getting hit by the hitman. It don't matter what color you're wearing.
I don't know.
They may not be scared at first, but once they get hit, they're gonna be like, well, I'm definitely scared.
I think physicality is always going to be a part of the game. They try to make it safe, but I think that's more probably down the line of intimidation than jersey colors.
It was the weirdest thing. I thought that was such a weird take.
Not as far-fetched. I mean, that used to be a thing,
Yeah.
even before my time. And, people, they love jerseys. I'm not a jersey guy, but I get, certain colors, schemes they like, they feel like it's tough and hard.
Yeah.
And, so, there are, the darker colors always kind of went out on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I understand why fans, kind of gravitate towards the color and everything and the design and all this stuff, and it's a big talking point. I am just never been a big jersey guy either. It's like you could wear whatever ugly jersey you want. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers have worn those, like, bumblebee outfits in one games, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of ugly jerseys.
Black and gold, though, it's kind of intimidating.
The black and gold.
Except for the bumblebee ones.
Yeah, except for the bumblebee ones. Like, there's so many ugly jerseys that have came through, and so many teams have won with logo changes, and I have a hard time really buying into the conversation at large. But I know why fans love it, because, fans also buy the merchandise. I would say that probably most people are still going to buy the merchandise no matter what. But I understand that fans like it. I just am not big into it as a fan. I've just never been a big jersey guy, though.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so I could say that. So are these the official colors, or do we know? I mean, I'm getting a little confused, and here's why I say this. Because there's a lot of things that come out. We're not talking about jerseys.
Right.
I'm just talking about things that come out on the internet, on the X, and Twitter and everything else. You just you don't know what's real and not real. And I know the Fanatics guy kind of leaked it out on. I don't know why he put it on that Muppet looking thing. So that makes me make it feel like it's not serious. I forgot his guy's name, Zach something. He was Zach something, wasn't he?
Yeah, Zach Cohen. He works for, I think, DraftKings and FanDuel, but he found, so someone was on Fanatics late at night.
Okay.
And Fanatics had accidentally posted a product, which is a NFL long product. So every NFL has a logo on there. And someone just happened to catch this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I saw him. So I couldn't remember who it was. So I didn't know if it was real or not, or just there at the beginning stages, and then somebody caught wind of what it was potentially could look like. So I didn't know if this was quote unquote official.
Now Easton has confirmed that the new Titans logo, that one that you saw on the little fuzzy Muppet thing, I called it a little fuzzy dookie ball, is source confirms new Titans logo plus elements of the new uniform. So that is an element.
It's
elements. So again, we don't know if this is the primary logo. This could just be a secondary logo. We also know that if you kind of been paying attention to some of the stuff, like I wish I had it near me, but like, your traveling coffee mugs and everything, they have the T with just, if you've noticed, they've kind of moved away from the flame for a while on some products.
Oh.
So it's just you.
Well,
and they did at what's the house? The Titans house thing.
The Titan house, as well as when you go into the facility where they redid it all.
Yeah.
The logo there, too, does not have the flame.
Right. So they've kind of been throwing it out there for a few months at the very least, maybe even over a year and a half.
Or is it just coincidental?
Maybe it's just coincidental, but I don't know. But
Titan house, man.
I do think that nowadays the new thing that's in is clean looks, like as far as, the flame is a little busy. Now, could you do some stuff with the flame to make it look less busy in graphic design? Sure, but it's a lot of different colors and all that kind of stuff and a lot going on. So like kind of paring down is kind of what's in. Clean, slick, minimalist is kind of in. Now, we don't know if this is the main logo, like I said earlier. We know it could be a secondary logo, could be the primary logo. We know these are the colors, though, that they are leaning into. A little bit more red is going to be leaned into as well. It says in the article that they are moving away from the Greek mythology element, and I'm a little torn on that one.
Yeah, I am too.
Because here's the thing. I get that you could sit there and you could preach to people and you could say, well, we are Nashville, we're Athens of the South, we have the Parthenon, we have all that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you have to sit there and explain it. It's the same reason why I didn't like moving away from calling this the stadium the Coliseum. Mm-hmm. I thought they should have kept the Coliseum. It could be LP Coliseum, it could be Nissan Coliseum, it could still be Coliseum. And now they're moving even further away from that. They're kind of removing sword elements, no flame. There's no Greek lettering. I guess I didn't even really notice that the uniforms used to make a shield or make a sword, apparently. But they're moving away from that.
So
I kind of disagree
Greek
with
mythology,
that.
No fireball and no sword.
Yeah. I mean, as of right now.
Oh, I didn't.
And now, listen, they could be getting a lot of information right now. This leaked. Let's see what the public thinks and maybe make some tweaks, some minor tweaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? That's always possible.
That would be smart.
That would be smart.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. But at the end of the I get that they're going back to like the Love You Blue, Titans Blue, Oilers era. I love the color scheme and all that kind of stuff. But I do think that moving away from the Greek stuff is a little too removed from something that people can kind of buy into and love and all this kind of stuff with that, which people have. How many people still love the name the Coliseum?
Well, I definitely like Coliseum, but I mean, I got to wait to see. That's why I was asking if this is the final, we could say they're getting away from certain things or the colors or so, but we really don't know. So that maybe it could be, they're adding here or there, but yeah, I wanted it to be a revisionist history. Maybe that's because I wanted to be right on that they opened the stadium with uniforms. I guess having a new coach and it got leaked. So I wanted the all-time up because that's exactly what happened when we moved into the stadium. And then we went to the Super Bowl. So I'm excited that they are getting new jerseys. I thought that's what would happen. I think that's a great marketing point. You can sell a lot of jerseys. I think it's time. But I thought you were going to kind of stick with the same. Now, you can alter the colors, not as much navy and all those things. And maybe part of the baby blue that you want in, it's going to be the home jerseys. And maybe then now you're going to wear all white. That's one thing, too. Even though I love the way all white looks, I do feel like there's some soft elements to that. You better play hard. I mean, what I mean, like hard, like not just, running around. I mean, like you got to be that team. Just all white is just, it just can come across as like it's soft. But they've done that here the last year or two. So, yeah, we'll see, man. I want some alternate colors. But the throwbacks will be the ones that I wore. So I like that.
Yeah.
I really do. So I could say I was part of some form of history there.
It says, so going back to the Greek mythology thing just real quick, one of the biggest changes the Titans are making with their big 2026 redesign is moving away from the theme of Greek mythology. Now, this redesign, it says, is only really associated with the design of the uniforms and all this stuff. But do you still move away from it in other aspects of your game experience? Are you still going to have the little gladiator guy? Well, I shouldn't say little. He's a massive human being.
He's ripped up.
Yeah, he's ripped up. Yeah. But like, are you still going to have the gladiator guy? Are you still going to have like a little bit of 300 elements on the game day experience and stuff like that?
Yeah, if he's not. Yeah.
Because again, it's like nobody really calls this Athens of the South, right? This is Music City.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I mean, like, nobody nationally really calls it. Everybody's going to be like, why are y'all the Titans? In a certain point, someone's going to be saying that. But at the same time, I wish they would kind of, I'm not saying they had to go full lean into it, but like add into the Greek mythology. But let's add a little bit of designs to kind of lead people to what you're trying to be.
Yeah, well, new era, new time, new idea. So, hey, I'm just going to embrace it. Guess what? We're all going to love if they winning.
Well,
I'll tell you that
that matters more. Yeah. It matters if the players inside the jersey are winning and playing well.
And then we're going to still bring Ross out on the Greek mythology with the horses and bring him out and be all ripped up, right, bro?
He's going to wear his toga. Yeah. He's going to be on the chariot and everything. I like it. I like it. All right, we are going to go to the phones. When we come back, we're going to go to Brian and Fred. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. As much as we would love to have the Greek mythology, I think that's really the only sticking point for us. We're a jersey indifferent show because we haven't seen the finished product, right? We don't really know what it looks like. We have assumptions, right? I mean, you can look at the Oilers throwback uniforms, slap a white helmet, slap that logo on there, and sure, that's probably a pretty good guess of what they're going to look like. The Tennessee Titans blue, will be the primary color of the new home jerseys. The away jerseys will be white, something that they tested this year. If you remember, no navy jerseys in any of the combinations. The Titans are also expected to lean harder into red accents. And obviously, a helmet color change is coming too, going away from navy blue to white. So we want to hear from you. Do you guys even care? What do you think about it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? We just want to hear all the opinions. This is Cover 2, 615-737-1045. Let's go to Brian in Nashville. Brian, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's up, fellas? So I wanted to give my opinion on the jerseys and all that stuff, but the Greek mythology thing, to hit on that first, I think it just gives us a lot of options as far as, like, kind of the fan in-game experience, like chants, things like that we can do. We just haven't taken advantage of it very well yet. Personally, I think the 300 chant is kind of lame, but I know some people like it. But I don't know where we go as far as in-game experience if we start doing away with all the mythology stuff. Like, I really don't want to go back to Luke Bryan singing Titans fans shake it for me, because that was possibly the lamest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But one thing I wanted to run by you guys and see what you think, especially you, Blaine, being a former player. I liked an idea about having all the red, like all the accent colors, shoes, arm sleeves, gloves, things like that, being something that like leaders on the team, captains on the team, coaches can give out as like performance based. Like, you've hit certain marks, you've done certain things. So like, I don't know. I haven't really seen much of that outside of like lower level football, but I don't know what that would look like at the pro level.
What do you mean? Like, how does that impact the game? Yeah. What do you mean, like awards?
No, I'm saying, as far as like rewards going, like really good. You know, you make interceptions, and you can get the red gloves. You start getting more swag as you earn it.
So kind of is
cool on the outside.
Is that kind of like the stickers that go on the helmets? Is kind of what you're saying in college? You know, you get certain stickers, but instead it's paraphernalia or accessories.
Right. I think that like it's cool traditions. We don't have a ton of really cool traditions, and we've got so many opportunities to be in Music City. We've got TriStar stuff. We've got all the Music City stuff. We don't really lean into that. Greek mythology could be cool, but I don't know. I just think that we've got a lot of opportunities and haven't really taken advantage of it over the years.
Real quick. Name one other team that does what you're talking about in the NFL.
No, yeah, that's very true. But name one other team that yells "You suck" at all the fans, at all the opposing players in the
right,
hockey league.
Doubt.
They're all more stoic.
I was asking,
so we do our own thing.
I want new ideas, and I like that idea. But I was trying to figure out, man, how can I relate to what you're talking about? I like it.
This is college football central. So, I mean, we do things in a different way, and I think that applying more of kind of college football traditions would get fans more involved. So doing things like that, I think, could help with fan interaction, which we've had just been abysmal over the last few years.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Brian. I mean, listen, I don't know about the idea and practice. Right, like the process of doing that seems very labor oriented when you really don't want. I know team captains, players
during a game. Like, how does that work?
But I do agree that maybe involving more college elements here, because this is a very college heavy town.
Yeah,
and building traditions. I do think that there are a lack of true traditions. I know people do not like the I hear the train coming around the bend, like Johnny Cash. I know people don't like the Johnny Cash with the train and everything, but that's probably the longest tradition that the Tennessee Titans have had. And I mean, I like it. I don't really hate it. I know everybody else does for whatever reason. But I do think that there needs to be more traditions. And I do think that the Tennessee, because this is still a young franchise, right? We're talking, I mean, it doesn't sound like it. I mean, it's old enough to, it's old enough to rent a car, but compared to other NFL teams that have recently popped up, there's not a lot of tradition there. And I think that the game day experience, especially over the last few seasons, has been lacking, but also has the product on the field. So it's like hard to build a tradition when you only have 10,000 fans in the stand. A lot easier to do when you have like sold out, consecutive sellouts, and it's your fans, not the other team's fans.
Well, I think to me, I would get the fans' involvement in giving suggestions this offseason on not only logo ideas, but also fan interactions, things that they would like to see. The reason why I say all this, because you can go a period of time when you're winning, everything's easy. But when you start losing, it's hard to keep everybody engaged. And so I'm going to use the example of the NBA All-Star Game. They changed the whole format up, and it kept me engaged, but it also forced the players to stay engaged and play harder. So here's what I'm trying to do is, what can we do, fans? If you got any ideas to get better fan engagement, whether you're talking about the music, just different ideas to keep everybody engaged and pumped up and loud throughout the game. And fans, our smart fans, know when to be loud and when not to be loud and those things. But, man, I'd love to. I mean, when we were playing, I mean, it was easy because we were winning.
Yeah.
So, we had to start giving out hand signals on defense because we couldn't even hear each other.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was... So I just want to get back to that. So how do you recreate that? And sometimes it starts with just the music you play, whether it's, we're in country music era, but also you got to get what are things that get people hyped.
Right.
What makes people get out of their
chair. And gets the players hyped, too, right?
No doubt.
Because I know the players get to pick their pregame music, but at the same time, you need to be playing that music and carrying over some of that music into the game.
Yeah. So it's just... I don't know all those ideas, but I would definitely open it up to, that'd be really cool. And then we could say, fan and see such and such came with this idea on game one or in a preseason game when it's kind of relaxed,
right?
And what do you think about this idea? And have somebody in the mic and have it starting. I mean, that's how you start building this relationship back to where it was. I mean, so you got to be a little more interactive now. And then just think when you're in that nice new stadium doing stuff like that. Oh, man, it'll be awesome.
And listen, winning helps a lot of this, right? Because, I mean, you go back to what you were just talking about when the stadium would be shaking and rocking and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot harder to do that when you've had the last 4 or 5 years here at the stadium. And then on top of that, you've become a destination city for NFL games. And that's kind of translated into it. And on top of that, you got fans who would rather sell their tickets than go to the game. Cleveland Brown fans, Detroit Lion fans would still show up to the games and cheer their team during the losing seasons. Titans fans, they like, hey, I can make a quick buck on this. And listen, capitalism, I don't blame it. Make your money if you want to. But that's, again, also hard to start traditions when you don't have fans in the stands. And the fans aren't in the stands for multiple reasons, not just losing, but losing is the majority of it. So, yeah, I do think that the Tennessee Titans PR, event staff, whoever it may be, would do well to maybe reach out to do a test run with everybody in the 300 section or the high nosebleed section of your season ticket list. Those are your diehards. Those are the guys that are coming to the game no matter what. Let's start there. Do a little test run, see what ideas you got. Then start expanding it by level and try to come up with some ideas. Because game day operations, they've been bad for a while. A lot of the fans have voiced their displeasure over game day operations as far as the experience once the game starts. So you got an opportunity now to correct it, and it's time to do it. For sure. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Fred. We got a lot of phone calls coming in. 615-737-1045. Fred, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, Mountaineer Fred from Bellevue. Thank you for taking my call.
Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to say, if we're talking about the uniform change, Blaine, first off, been a big fan for a lot of years, man. I was at the Music City Miracle game. The only time in my life I was in the 300 section of Nissan Stadium. All right, just very good memories. But I want to add, if we're going to change the uniforms again, I'm cool with let's going back to something that, resembles the Tennessee Oilers uniforms. That's fine, but, we're our own identity. And let's not forget that either. I mean, I love the thumbtack, FYI. Just say it. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love the Titans uniforms and what they have done over the years, man. I'm a fan from day one. And when Miss Amy changed them, 8 years ago or what have you, I was great with that, man. Let's have our own identity in the NFL and, screw everybody else, man. Let's do what we do. And I think a lot of that just comes down to coaching and, the players that we put on the field.
All right, we had a running short on time. We have a couple phone calls to get to, but we appreciate it, Mountaineer Fred, for your opinions and input and all that kind of stuff. Let's go to Larissa. Larissa, now I have to say, Larissa, that
I love this station.
That I heard that you did show up at T-Line, but how did me and Blaine not see you at T-Line?
I know. I'm really in Spanish. My name means Delasa Larissa, and it's of Greek origin. But I laugh a lot. I know my mom said when they brought you to me, you were laughing. But I love this station, and I'm laughing at so many of the calls. I don't know how I did not see you guys. Where were you guys? Were you guys hiding?
Well, we were at the radio, and then I went back up to the restaurant area once the our show was over, waiting for Football and Other F Words to go on.
Well, see, it was so nice though to put names to faces. Met Mayor and Slay. That is the tallest human. He stood up and he kept standing up. I was like, okay, sir. It was like, but I wish I would have been able to meet you guys. But you guys do more remotes, and I'll be there to bug you guys.
There you go.
Amazing show. But real quickly, because I know you guys are short on time, I will say this, and again, that last caller, thank you. You are everything. It represents Nashville. Nashville is so diverse, and whatever is being floated out, my opinion, my very humble opinion, no, I don't work for 104.5, and no, I don't work for Miss Amy, but I was like, whatever's being floated out, that's not even going to be the uniform. They may show out like the Hunger Games. Remember when the lady came out and she was on flames and then the dress changed? Who knows what it's going to be? But it's going to be amazing. And I will say this, the end result and the tease factor is quite delightful. And it sets up for a great season. So it's kind of exciting. If you're not a Titans fan, you're going to be one. And 104.5 rocks. All right, I'm going to hang up and listen. And no, I don't work for you guys. I got it.
All right, thanks, Larissa. Yeah, I mean, we technically don't know what the uniforms are going to look like. But yeah, I do think we got a good gist of what it's going to look like. I think it's going to look clean. I think it's going to look slick, and I'm very excited. Kind of like this season. I'm excited. I don't know what to expect, but I am excited.
But the jerseys are coming out this year, though. Right?
Yes. So I don't think they're waiting from what I understand, I don't think they're waiting for the new stadium. Gotcha. I think they're going ahead and doing it this season. All right, let's go to Larry and Dixon. Larry, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys, I don't have a whole lot of comments. I will say this. The colors and the uniforms are for the fans. The football players don't care about anything but playing football and winning football games.
This is true.
So when the organization changes colors and things, the fans are who they need to think about. I can understand they want to change because the last few seasons have not been successful, so I know they want to go to something new with new coaching and new everything else. But to me, if you win football games, the fans will buy your merchandise, and that'll be it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Larry. I mean, I do. I don't, do you think today's athletes care a little bit more about the jerseys than maybe years past? I do wonder with the NIL, all that kind of stuff, this generation is a little bit more
I think so.
Mindful of how they look.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you're closer to their age than me.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel much older than I do to relate to people, but I do wonder.
I think they do care. I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's just all about the look. But see, even as a player, I could care less how I look, to be honest. And I'm not even talking about the jersey. I'm talking about how sloppy my jersey looks.
Yeah.
If I look sweet. If you look sweet, you play sweet. I heard guys say that. I said, you look sweet when you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you losing, that's all I cared about was winning. So that was never kind of on my mind. The game was really hard. So, so I just kind of focused on trying to do the best job I could. Love the jerseys and the fans and all that, but I was never like a jersey guy.
Because people get up in arms about fonts on jerseys and how certain numbers look in jerseys.
I mean, it matters to the fans because you're selling them, they're wearing them, all of that. That's all part of it. That's why I said I would get the fans involved in actually helping determine what the jerseys and color combinations would be. Think you might have missed that part. That is what I would do if I was part of the organization, because then now we're looping them. It's called the hook in the involvement. This is our jersey change. We are part of it. We're part of this whole loop.
Right.
See, so that's kind of what I would do if I was part of it, instead of, just kind of changing the jerseys just without any involvement. Guess what? They don't know if they had a lot of involvement or not.
Right. Exactly. They're just heard. Right. Sometimes being heard is just as important as anything.
That's what I would be more, worried about as an owner, and, putting out jersey changes and everything else.
What do you think about this? Obviously, Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick last year. I'm sure he had a lot of Tennessee Titans jerseys sold. Would you do a trade-in program of some sort, not to give full discount, but maybe give a discount for people who had? Maybe they bring it to
marketing. I don't know about that. That's not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I would do that. I think if I'm at the Titans Pro Shop, you bring in your old Cam Ward jersey, and we'll give you a discount on a new jersey. It doesn't have to be Cam Ward, but it could be when they come out, when the new jerseys come out. I think I would do something like that, especially because it's so close to your number 1 overall pick, who's also a quarterback. Just a lot of people buying those jerseys. This is also why if I were to ever get another jersey, because I haven't bought a jersey in forever, but if I ever to get a jersey, I'm only going custom jerseys, never a player on the back. Because, you never know how long those players are going to be.
So if you're going to do a promo like that, what are you going to do with the jerseys that you collect?
I don't know. They've done things like that before. Maybe you donate them to Goodwill. Maybe you repurpose them for something else. I don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, but I know teams have done that before. I have to go back and check which an NFL team did that recently. Gave a refund or a partial refund or a discount on some jersey recently. But yeah, that's something that, then you get more, you still are making a little bit more money, right? You still got people coming to buy your jerseys, and, it's giving a little something back to the fans. Because I would say you have to come in and do it at the pro shop.
I would probably try to, donate it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Goodwill, but some foundation or something where it's going back.
Yeah.
Out to the public.
That would be good. Yeah. There you go. When we come back, more of your phones, 615-737-1045. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Hey, it's Zach Lyons. If you wear glasses, you already know the struggle. I'm constantly looking for them, waking up blind without them, knocking them off the nightstand, and don't even get me started on vacations. Swimming, forget it. Fogging up, smudges, scratches. My whole day revolves around these things so that I can see. And the truth is, I've been dealing with blurry vision for years. Glasses help, but they're also a hassle, and lately I've been seriously thinking there has to be a better way. That's when I started hearing from colleagues here at Cumulus who had vision correction done by Dr. Horn at Vision for Life. And every single one of them said the same thing. They wish they'd done it sooner. So I did my homework, read the reviews, and decided it was time. I'm going to have my vision corrected by Dr. Horn next week, and I'll walk you guys through the experience step by step before, during, and after. If you're tired of dealing with glasses, contacts, or blurry vision, don't keep putting it off. Call Vision for Life at 615-436-2020 or visit visionforlife.com to schedule your consultation. I'll keep you posted, and trust me, I'm excited to finally see clearly. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Tennessee Titans just announced that on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, February 18th, New offensive coordinator, Brian Dable, and new defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley, will have a press conference starting at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday. We'll have our reactions to that at 1 p.m. here on Cover 2. Let's go to the phones. We're talking about the big jersey conversation. It's starting to run its course with me. But we're going to continue taking your phone calls, 615-737.
What's that mean?
I'm bored with this combo already. I want to hear the fans' opinions because I want to try to, get insight into what fans are thinking. And this also provides valuable information to whoever may be listening from the Tennessee Titans. It's just, I'm just a very indifferent on the conversation because I care more about winning than I do about what they wear when they win. I'm there for that.
Oh, so we're both on the same
line. We
here.
are definitely on the same page on that. Let's go to Daniel in Eagleville. Daniel, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Yeah, you guys were talking about the music that they play. Long Train Coming by Johnny Cash, that's self-defeating. If you pay attention to all the lyrics, he's in prison and not getting out, and that's where the Titans have been. We need to have something more.
Good one.
No, think about it. You have to have something more positive. How about the Who's Pinball Wizard or Jim Croce? I can't remember the name of the song, but part of the lyrics are you don't stomp on Superman's cape, you don't spit in the wind, and you don't mess around with Jim. Something
Is it good hype music, though? Or not? No.
Pardon me?
If you're not listening to the lyrics, if you just listen to the music, is it good hype music or no?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
I believe so because it puts you in that frame of mind that, hey, we don't care who you are. You're coming into our house.
Our house. Yeah.
We're kicking your butt.
Like it.
There you go. I like it, Daniel. I like that we went from Johnny Cash to Jim Croce in 1971. And it is, it's called, the song he's referred to is You Don't Mess Around with Jim. And You Don't Tug on Superman's Cape.
Yeah.
So we're at least up to 1972 on relevant music for the stadium. Maybe we can get it to 1990s by the time the show ends. Let's go to Alan in Nashville. Alan.
Is this true?
You're on with Blaine and Zach.
Well, I'm always up in the top. I never hear the music, so I don't know what they're playing. So I have no idea.
I would love to hear when the Jaguars come out for Tom Jones singing What's New Pussycat.
There you go. I like it. I feel like they've done that before.
Have they? I hadn't. I've been to pretty much. Well, I've had season tickets since '99, and I've never heard them do that. But I heard the Preds do that when the Florida Panthers came out. It was great.
Maybe that's where I heard it from.
Saw a logo this weekend. I don't know if it was the final, but it was the thumbtack without the flame, and it was light blue with the red stars, and it really looked sharp. I'd love more of that red accent. If they went, and I like the light blue. I really do. The light blue, and then, of course, the white for away.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Alan. I like the color scheme. I like leaning into the red. Maybe we'll get red jerseys as those red jerseys that you never got to wear that they teased you with.
I think that'd be sweet. That would link right on into that. Man, we get a Christmas Day game and just, oh, man, that's great marketing value there. We're also to even buy a jersey.
Those red jerseys are nice. People still wear them.
I see them. I see them every year. I see them every year all the time.
They duped me. I just knew we were going to wear them on Christmas Day versus the Cowboys. And we didn't even go out in the game. They said, we're going to wear them at halftime. We're going to come in and change. That's how much I was just all in. And we did not. Even though we still whipped the Cowboys, though.
Yep. I like that they're kind of leaning into that Oilers colors and all that kind of stuff. I do think that this kind of color scheme does seem a little bit less generic, I guess. I'll miss the Navy, though. I was kind of a big fan of the Navy blue.
Well, it's because it was first. But,
yeah.
The history of the organization. So it's got that color scheme in there. It's what... the late great Chaos Bud Adams came up with. So, yeah, I think it should be part of it.
Yeah.
And be a prominent color. So, out with the Navy and the old school, and now those jerseys are the throwbacks.
There you go.
Can't wait.
There you go. Let's go to Adrian. Adrian, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, what you think?
Doing pretty good. Man, the new jersey, the new symbol, I really don't. It looks cool. It looks good. I miss the thing. Miss the flame a little bit, but all that matters is, are we going to win or not? If we win, everybody going to love it. If we don't, people are not. But I really called in to ask y'all about Denzel Boston. Have y'all heard of him?
Yes, the Washington wide receiver.
Yes, I would like to get y'all thoughts on us possibly drafting him. Because from what I've seen, I think he might be one of the best wide receivers in this class. And I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on it.
Denzel Washington?
Denzel Washington. I hate to.
I thought he was an actor.
Yeah, I hate to disappoint Adrian who called in. I have not watched Denzel Boston yet.
Oh, Boston.
Yeah, Denzel Boston.
He said Washington, though, didn't he?
No, he said Boston.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear. Okay.
Yeah, but he was on the road, so it was a little hard to hear. But so I have not watched Denzel Boston yet. But I know that he's a borderline first round, second round wide receiver. A lot of. I think Todd McShay has him as his number one wide receiver, I believe, which is kind of wild. Oh, wow. So I haven't actually got around to watch Denzel Boston, so I don't want to say anything about him one way or the other because I'd be very grossly misinformed.
Yeah, I definitely don't know who he is.
I could read his stats. That's about all I can tell you right now.
What's his stats?
I'll pull him up here in just a second.
Yeah. Boston, I wonder if he's related. Do you remember the guy that played Ohio
David
State?
Boston, right?
David Boston, yeah. Well, he was a first-round pick from Ohio State.
Played Miami at some point, I believe.
I don't know. I just know he was I know he played for Arizona. That might have been his original team. I'm not sure. But he was a phenomenal athlete. He was just an okay pro. But, boy, there was one season there, though, he just kind of took the league by storm there, man. He was ripped up. Man, he was a problem.
Does not say anywhere whether or not that he is related to him or not. Okay. But I can say this. See here. Just real quick. College sports website is making you verify you're human every 30 seconds. Okay. Played 4 years at Washington. Mm-hmm. Has posted back-to-back 830-plus seasons. So never gotten 1,000. He's never gotten even to 900. He had 9 touchdowns in 2024, 11 touchdowns in 2025. He has a 76.9 contested catch rate. If you are into PFF grades, he has the second highest grade versus man coverage, according to PFF advanced stats. 3.1 drop percentage last year, one of the lowest in the class. 14.2 yards per reception as well, and pretty much was about a 14.4 average depth of target. So I can at least provide you that much about Denzel Boston, but that's about where it ends for me.
So what do you project? He's like a third-round pick?
No, they project that he's a top of the second, bottom of the first kind of guy.
Oh, still bottom of the first.
So you may be able to get him at your second-round pick if you so choose. I'm sure the Tennessee Titans have done a lot more film research than we have so far on Denzel Boston. All right, we'll continue talking about football. We'll take your calls on the Jersey All show, but we're going to go to football because we're going to go to Dustin, who wants to talk about Caleb Downs as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon from the Circus Sports of the Mid-Kentucky Down studio. I'm Ross Johnston. In NFL news, the Miami Dolphins have released multiple veterans today, most notably being All-Pro wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Also, a few coordinators have been hired. The Seahawks and Raiders got their offensive coordinators, with the Raiders bringing in Seahawks quarterback coach Andrew Janocko and the Seahawks bringing in 49ers tight end coach Brian Fleury to be the team's offensive coordinators. Also, the Cleveland Browns hired their new defensive coordinator, Mike Rutenberg, who has been with the Falcons and Jets. Yesterday in racing news, Tyler Reddick won his first ever Daytona 500 after not leading the entire race until the last lap. And lastly, in some college hoops news, Vandy and Tennessee both got wins on Saturday. The Commodores defeated Texas A&M 82-69 in Nashville, and the Vols defeated LSU 73-63 in Knoxville. Tonight, we do have a top 5 Big 12 matchup as Houston heads to Iowa State, with tip-off scheduled for 8 p.m. in Ames. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door, and broadcasting live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. And let's talk a little...
Go
ahead.
I got an update.
Okay.
Breaking news.
All right.
Denzel Boston is David Boston's son.
Is he really?
Absolutely.
Well, I cannot believe I cannot find that
You
on Google.
couldn't find
Good
it.
look
You
at
was
you.
like,
You got some sources.
No, I did this on my phone.
Oh, did you?
That's all I did. Yeah, it comes up. It clicked. You got to go down to the different topics, and you click on it. Say, "Is this David Boston's son?" And it says yes. He lives in Washington High School. But yeah, the guy, I did a little research because I'd never heard of. I've never watched Washington this past season. So he's 6'4", 209, running 4.5, and third team All Big Ten.
That's a guy that combine can kind of change if he's going to first round or second round.
Right, yeah, I would say so, especially a guy that big at 6'4", 209. His dad was, kind of 6'2", 230. He was ripped up. His dad had 1,500 yards, so the lineage, of how good of a player his dad had, some substance abuse and things of that nature as his career went on. But this guy here looks, the part, at least looks the part. Yeah. I haven't watched him play or watched any highlight reels or anything, but it is David Boston's son. Denzel Boston.
Denzel Boston.
Yeah, I was just going to say his dad, David, was the 8th pick of the 99 draft and a first-team All-Pro in 2001. So good genes.
I played against him. I definitely strapped my head helmet on a little tighter that day. Now, fans were talking about intimidation with jerseys. He would come out with a cutoff shirt and no pads, and I'm telling you, this guy looked like a freaking linebacker playing wide receiver. He's the only guy I could ever say that about, ever. I went back in the locker room after I warmed up because everybody does their little warm up on their own. When you just got on shorts, t-shirt. I said, I'm gonna hit the heck out of this dude. I said, because if I don't, I'm gonna get embarrassed. That's what I thought, because he looked just that big, and we already knew he was fast.
His son is bigger than him. Because he was 6'2", 228, which is stout, kind of like AJ Brown, right? AJ Brown, I think, is right around that height and weight. So David Boston's a little bit bigger. And
David Boston looked like
Denzel Boston, I guess.
Well, Denzel Boston is 6'4", 209.
Yeah,
his dad was 230.
Yeah, 6'2", so he's a lot more compact.
Yeah, so he looked like a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
I mean, he literally looked like that. And go, dang, man, the football players don't look like that.
Right.
I'm like, dang. Oh, man, I'm going to have to get this dude before because he was kind of walking around out there really like, hey, man, I'm going to puff my chest and I'm about to get y'all.
Yeah.
When naturally that didn't happen. Yeah.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dustin in Gallatin. Dustin, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I was watching the 49ers game the other day, just with a fresh perspective, having Saleh here.
Oh.
And I think Drew Brees said that 80% of the time they're rolling a safety down in the box, and watching that game, Winston looks like a big body guy, obviously really raw. But Blaine, as far as Caleb Downs, I know you talked about Earl Thomas and the value there and how much of a dude he was. As far as Caleb Downs, how interchangeable is kind of that role of rolling people down with Downs and Winston and maybe Hooker? I know Hooker's kind of undersized, but obviously he's a hard-nosed guy. And then obviously we need a pass rush, but how valuable is that role, having that guy that can roll down and kind of shoring up that safety position? I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks, Dustin.
Well, I think Caleb Downs is a multi-tooled player. He's just not a roll down guy. Play in the box. He can guard the tight ends. He can guard the slot receiver. He can play deep middle. Has good ball skills. I think he's
take down a running back in the backfield.
Yeah, he can blitz. I mean, there's nothing that he's not really good at. I'd be interested to see where he would rank amongst some of the highest rated safeties coming out. He probably is I'm going to say this. He's probably, if you're going by grades, the number one player in this year's draft. Mm-hmm. But the safety value, is the position itself may not lend him to being that. You know what I mean? So I think the teams that can afford or have a hole to take a safety, because it's an upgrade from anybody, most of the teams in the NFL. So that's why I don't think the Titans will do it. They could shock me. Because they took Winston last year.
Yeah.
That's the only issue. I know Hooker can be in the box. But this is the next level up. Caleb Downs will come in and probably be close to a Pro Bowl level player. If not, I'd be surprised if he wasn't a Pro Bowl player. So I think scheme and system that really matter for him. If you want to get the most out of him, I think, having where he can be able to blitz off the slot and be impactful in the game, in the run game and the pass game, I think will benefit him a lot. So it's going to be tough. I think potentially Winston, with his length and athleticism, could potentially be just as good as that. I think he has a little more upside because of his length and his athleticism. I think if I put on a bar, I think Winston would have been a first rounder if he hadn't tore his ACL coming out. And so I think Winston could probably potentially be just as good, maybe a notch below, but his length is making me think he can be. So I probably, as much as I love Downs, and I actually know him personally and his family, it'd be tough if I'm from the Titans' shoes to take him with the fourth pick when we have Hooker and Winston. It's not an immediate need. Now, you do need three quality players, but I think that's as far as, that's just a tough one to. Man, that's just tough to pass up, but you can't take that. You need way more than that. As much as I love him as a person too, by the way, that's a tough one. It'd be hard though. You be sitting there like, man, but I know he's the best player on the ball.
I'd love to just be a fly on the wall in those discussions that are currently going on inside the building when they're setting their free agency board, setting their draft board, and just be there just to listen to, because you're right. And this is a discussion we'll get into later on when we're closer to the draft, but like the three best players in this draft are three non-premium position players.
Love.
Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, and Sonny Styles, the linebacker, not Arvell Reese, but Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State. To me, they're the three best players, but they play three non-premium positions. And likely all three will be there when the Tennessee Titans pick. Mm-hmm. So not only are the Tennessee Titans likely to pass on the best player available, the prior two teams outside of Fernando Mendoza for going to the Raiders also passed on best player available. And so what's better for the Tennessee Titans, to take best player available or to fill a need? Depends on how close the grades are, but you can kind of almost sit there. It's almost undeniable to me, to your point, Caleb Downs, best player in the draft. I go back and forth between him and Jeremiah Love, but I make no quarrels about it. I think Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, two best players in the draft. I think Sonny Styles is right up there with them. And then everybody else has a little bit of ifs and buts and thises and that's that kind of make you waver. So Tennessee Titans are likely not drafting best player available when they pick. And I think there is a debate to whether that's the right move or not, but we'll have those discussions.
Do you think the Titans have that? do that? Take the best player available?
I think they should. I mean,
why?
Because you need proven. I mean, I know when I say proven that an injury could happen or something.
The issue. What happens is you're now forced to start him. You just gave Hooker an extension, and Winston you drafted last year.
I know.
So now where is he going to be?
Nickel maybe.
Yeah,
and then
okay, we could say nickel, but what about when they're not playing in nickel and they go base and they just run the football?
I mean, maybe they trade Amani Hooker or cut Amani Hooker. I don't know. You never know.
Now, if they do trade Hooker, then I definitely, no doubt. No doubt. No question asked. And the fact that they gave Hooker an extension makes me
bad
dang.
To me, that was a little bit of a bad timing.
That was a little early than I expected, to be honest.
Because let's say that he hadn't got the extension. What are we sitting here saying?
Yeah, I could say I'm.
And you're like best player available and need matches up perfectly, and that's a delicate balance a GM has to take. Right? Yeah. Is drafting for best player available or drafting for need.
So
and it depends on how close the grades are.
The Titans in position. It's easy to say take best player available, and typically those are the middle road teams, the 9 and 7, 7 and 9. You can take the best player available, but when you're building a team, you must start filling holes. So it's going to be interesting to see where Berganzi and crew decide, because some GM just say it doesn't matter. We're going to take the best player available, regardless of the situation of where the team is at today. The good example of that is when we drafted Keith Bullock in the first round. I forget what pick he was. What pick was he in the first round? Like 20-something? Maybe 50. I don't know. He was up there. And they drafted Keith Bullock. We didn't need 30th, right. We didn't need a linebacker. And now, who's the other linebackers who are taking that draft? Urlacher. I think it was somebody. We didn't need a linebacker on our team. And just think now, we were in the middle of the road, but we were ascending.
Yeah, LeVar Arrington was in that draft. Brian Urlacher was in that draft. Mm-hmm. Julian Peterson was in that draft. And then it went Rob Morris, then Keith Bullock. Yeah. So he was that's the fifth linebacker, if I'm not mistaken.
And it was a good linebacker draft, but we actually didn't really, we had solid players. Now, obviously, Keith Bullock was an upgrade, but we had other needs. We were in the position because we were that 8-8 team where we could take the best player available. And so then he was implemented, but guess what? He didn't start for a year. The day's money, you have to start that player.
Yeah.
It's just too much. You have to start them. We put in a whole new package, and we didn't use the package, a little bit every game. We talking about 5 to 10 plays a game as far as defensively. That's all we got out of him. And then he was like, I'm not a special team player. See? So then as a GM, you must justify why you made that pick.
Right.
That season in today's NFL. Not back then, but today's. See, so it's going to be because you're paying them so much more money. It's no different than why they start all these quarterbacks when you say he's not ready yet.
Right.
But we got to start him. We go change the franchise. So that's the battle that they have with one another and conversations with the GM who's ultimately going to be making the decision. And it's a tough one because it's hard not when you see talent. These guys are scouting players all over the place. They go, oh, my gosh, there's not been a player like him.
Especially when it's a talent like Caleb Downs, right?
We talking about Downs, Love, and whoever else you want to put. These guys are generational type players. When they took Bijan Robinson,
right?
That's when you take a running back high. This is where Love fits in that equation. Yeah. This is where Caleb Downs fits in this equation as a safety. So it's a tough call because I
don't envy the I would love to watch the conversations.
It's hard and tempting to just make that pick.
I don't envy the decision maker in that
I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd be like, well, we don't really need that, but he's going to be an impactful player immediately. Yeah. They're going to say, well, who gets benched?
Right.
Who play? Well, you got to say, well, Winston's kind of injury prone in his limited time that he did play.
Yeah.
So, Downs is a fascinating player. Love these guys, man. They're special, man. They're special.
That's the hard thing is that we all. Anybody with eyes can recognize that those guys are the best players in the draft, but it's hard. And what you maybe hope is that someone else makes that decision for you. Mm-hmm. Either they get drafted before it comes your turn, or someone wants to trade up. You know how many Cowboys fans I've seen demanding that the Cowboys trade up for Caleb Downs with the Titans. Like, that's kind of crazy that fans are wanting to trade up for Caleb Downs of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I don't know if that's all fans, but look at Kansas City. Maybe they are thinking, man, we may get Jeremiah Love at 9, because a lot of people, that's a trendy pick right now. But what if they want to trade up? Maybe those players that we named, Jeremiah Love and Caleb Downs, maybe someone will want to trade up for them, and that can create some opportunity for the Tennessee Titans too, because I would love to trade back. As much as I love those guys, I would love to trade back and maybe fill some holes. And, of course, we still have free agency. That's why this discussion, it's fun, but we still don't know what free agency looks like for this team either. And speaking of free agency, the Miami Dolphins have 3 players that they cut today, 4 players that they cut today that are going to be entering free agency. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll also go to James and Darren as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Those don't tug on Superman's cape. Don't mess with Jim.
Oh.
Let's go to James in Ashland City. James, you're on Blaine and Zach.
Hey, John, good to talk to you. I've been calling you probably for 20 years now and asking questions. And I love the fact that you're such a historian of the game. Based on that, I just want to ask a little something about what went on with the Titans organization 12 to 10 years ago when Tommy Smith was running the show. Is there any validity to the fact that there's a rumor that the NFL, Roger Goodell in particular, was wanting the Adams family to sell the team? And if that's the truth and the narrative, is it also true? Maybe organization a little stability, and I'll hang up and listen to your answer. Thank you so much for coming on this show every week. We appreciate that.
All right, thanks. Did he say John?
I think.
Okay, I don't know who John is, but this is Zach, Blaine and Zach, but I can answer your question.
John Ross?
No,
John Ross.
not quite.
He's probably got as many NFL receiving yards as John Ross does. Okay, so I think what he's referencing at the time that Tommy Smith stepped down or stepped away or whatever it was, whatever went down with the family, the Tennessee Titans tried to get away with an ownership structure where they did not have a primary owner listed, primary shareholder listed. But on this particular situation, that's what the NFL was saying. You had to have a primary owner or whatever listed, and that's where Amy Adams Strunk stepped in. Then, because the ownership structure was pretty much everybody, I think, was like 25, 25, 25, 25, all split among all the kids and all that kind of stuff. So that is what was going down with the NFL. That's the only time the NFL has ever said anything about the ownership structure here at the Tennessee Titans after Bud Adams died, that they had to have a primary owner, I guess, listed, and that principal owner, whatever you want to call it, and that became Amy Adams Strunk. So nothing else has ever happened since then.
Yeah, that was just rumor mill. They were just trying to get them to get the ownership group divided up where they have one majority owner, and that kind of was it. That was never about no selling. Not that I know of.
Yeah, they weren't. I think the NFL. I don't think they could force you to sell or anything like that in that particular situation. But I'm definitely not sure on that. All right, what I am sure of is that the Miami Dolphins. I commend the Miami Dolphins for going ahead and cutting the people they know they're going to cut, the cap casualties and all that stuff. Like, just go ahead and more teams should do it. Just go ahead and get it out of the way. They got out of the contracts for Bradley Chubb, the outside linebacker for them in Miami. They got out of Tyreek Hill's contract as well, who just had a gruesome leg injury. We have no clue what his recovery timeline or process or where he's at this point. They also cut guard James Daniels, who had an injury this season-ending injury this season. And then they also got rid of Nick Whisper-Gakine as well. But they knew they weren't keeping these guys after their internal roster evaluation. So go ahead and cut them. Like, it's kind of like I don't know why the Tennessee Titans just haven't gone ahead and announced L'Jarius Sneed is cut. We all know it's coming. Might as well just go ahead and do it. So I commend them. Now, as far as interest from the Tennessee Titans side, I don't think I'm too interested in any of these guys because I think if you're the Tennessee Titans, I think you have to have guys that are dependable, reliable, and healthy. And then none of these guys really fit that bill right now. I just can't. I know Tyreek Hill has the relation or the connection with Mike Bergonzi.
Oh, but this time it doesn't work.
Well,
why is that?
I'm just saying I know that he does, but I think there's a lot more to. We don't even know how healthy he is. Is my issue, and we know that these guys do want healthy players. We don't know how healthy Tyreek Hill is.
Yeah, well, coming with also Tyreek Hill, he has to have some form of an injury settlement. I know he had where he has a roster bonus if he was on the roster at a certain point in time, and that's why they released him. But they also can't release him while he's injured. like that unless you have some form of settlement. I don't know how that process worked with him or not. He was the only one of that group.
And he's actually free to sign with any team. He does not have to wait till free agency as the rule
he has
sets.
to be healthy.
Well, yeah, obviously. But I mean, I'm just saying he could sign.
Well, all of them can sign anywhere. They all were released. So they all can sign anywhere at any point in time at this point in time. I just thought it was interesting because they had the roster bonus, to your point, that they cut him, even though they're still going to have to pay him some form of his salary because you can't injure a guy where he couldn't even perform, so he can't even go get another job. I don't know where his status is as far as
I don't either.
I have no idea. But it was a gruesome injury. It was a gruesome injury.
Well, that's the word everybody's using in their tweets. That's a gruesome injury. And I'm like, okay, well, is he even going to be ready?
Yeah, well, if I'm the Titans, I'm not. I'll let somebody else be the guinea pig for that first year to see how healthy he is and see what he can do after that. Because typically, you're going to run into other injuries and maybe more muscular, even if he is back in some form of a Tyreek Hill, what he was before. You'll still, just like Winston had all these hammies and everything else strains, and things are overworking to compensate for maybe not as strong of a knee. I would, but I would be interested in Chubb and in a different role. And he may not like that role, but I'm gonna call it the Arden Key role, and not as the starter, but as a rotational piece. If you get down to it, I'd love to have Phillips, or what was the guy's name? It's at another team.
Jalen Phillips.
Phillips, right. I would probably take him, but I would I want to see what's out there for him, and the longer he waits, the more antsy he'll get. Mm-hmm. And if he's in that role, I think he can be an effective player because he has some injury issues throughout his career. But when he stays healthy enough, he's productive. So I'll be able. But any pass rushers, and you got to think about Saleh, how he rotates all of his D linemen. I think that kind of fits right in that alley. And then the veteran guy has had some injury issues, being consistent, but productive at the same time. I think he would parlay right perfect for that.
Yeah, I guess
the modest
his market is where the hang up for me is, because I really. Yeah.
That's why I say he has to embrace the role.
I'm
talking about backup. When I say Arden Key, because that's what Arden Key really is.
Yeah.
Is a backup, not as a starter. Now, he got to embrace that. Now, guess what? A backup guy can make $8 million if he come in there.
Kind of felt like Arden Key was starting to lose his grip on the starter because Jihad Ward was started to, kind of overtake him a little bit.
First and foremost, Arden Key should not have been a starter.
I agree.
So that was that shows you where we're at. I know everybody kind of likes him. He's kind of funny to interview and all those things. But he was always at his best when he was a rotational piece and getting after the quarterback. So that's what I'm referencing. That type of player, not the Arden Key that we had to put out there as a starter this past season. The year before that, he was a rotational piece. So that's what I think you can be more effective, and I'll take multiple guys with that. So I like him as that role. I don't know if he likes that as a role, but I like him as that. If not, I'll just wait to the end and then get another player in that role.
Bradley Chubb turns 30 later this month in June. He's only had 2 full seasons out of his 7 years of being in the NFL since being drafted 2018, where he's been played every game.
Very comparable to who? Who just had 3 sacks in one game?
Harold Clowney. Clowney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he started off bad too, and then all of a sudden he got 0 sacks with the Titans. I think and maybe had 1 or 2. Yeah, so some of these guys, it can't just look at the numbers and say, you watch Chubb, he's a solid player.
No,
his thing is about being healthy and how healthy can he
That's what I was saying. He's only had 2 full seasons of being healthy. Yeah. And that was this last season, coming off an ACL tear where he missed all of 2024. But 2025, fully healthy, 8.5 sacks. 2018, his rookie season, fully healthy, 12 sacks. But he's had games like in 2023, he wasn't fully healthy, but guess what? He still had 11 sacks. 2022 wasn't fully healthy, still had 8 sacks. 2020 as well had 7.5 sacks, wasn't fully healthy. Now there's some other, 2019, he only got to play 4 games in the season. 2021 only played 7 games in the season. So there have been times where he just hasn't been fully healthy, but when he is healthy, he is a good player. No denying that. And I do think the kind of rotational thing that you're talking about would be great. I'm just signing with you. is that what he's going to want to do? And we really have no clue if that's what he's forced to do, right? The market may view him as that. And so we will see what the market is. But that is, though, good news that he is entering the market at edge or defensive end, whatever terminology you want to use, because that does mean that's one more body in the pool, one more premier body in the pool, which may help you get other guys if you're not interested in Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, and then the market, the more is out there, the better for the teams, because then, they'll start getting antsy if they're not the ones getting signed to be in that starter role.
Right.
And he would be one of those guys, because I'm sure most guys in his shoes still believe that, hey, I'm a starter and I'm going to get starting money. And it starts probably at 12. I mean, you know, that's what he's thinking. And I'm like, no, we're not going to take that kind of risk with you. We like you. If you produce, we'll pay you up to that, but we're not going to make you our basic. We're going to be our rotational guy, and you will get to play a lot. So it's about relationship, too. I don't know if he had any relationship with anybody on the staff.
Just Reggie McKenzie.
Oh. Okay.
Would be the guy. He was in Miami when he was over there as well. Nobody else, because it was just Denver and Miami were the
they have
two.
Great insight on the guy there.
Yeah, they do. It will be. And then, of course, there's NWI, James Daniels. If James Daniels was healthy, I would be in on James Daniels because he plays right guard. He's been, pretty, for the most part, he has been healthy most of his career, but he got injured in week 1. He never came back this.
What was the injury? Do we know?
I'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah, man, if he missed the whole entire season, or was he just relegated to being a backup, but he was still dressing?
Oh, no.
He was out the whole year?
Let's see. Hold on.
So he towards Achilles or something, ACL.
Suffered a torn pectoral muscle during the first drive of the season opening game against the Buccaneers. Torn pec.
Dang it. That's a tough one, man, for an offensive lineman, because you're doing a lot of punching.
Yeah.
Golly. He should be able to rebound, though. I mean, he missed the whole season. He should be fully healthy.
And that was a week 1 injury, right?
Yeah,
first drive, opening game.
Healthy and ready to go. They can get him for cheap, though.
Maybe. And listen, right guard, right? I mean, you have a need at right guard right now. Yeah. I mean, maybe he comes in and maybe you get him at a modest contract. Because he initially signed with Miami a 3-year, $24 million deal. So he didn't get signed for a large chunk of money on his second contract with the Miami Dolphins. So maybe you can get him a little cheaper. Maybe he battles it out with Jackson Slater and someone else. You can never have enough offensive linemen. This team needs offensive linemen depth. It needs one starter at the very least. And let me say something. I looked at the center free agency class today, Blaine. It is not good. You better be drafting. You better be drafting a center to start training up at some point on day 3 behind Lloyd Cushenberry. I would re-sign Corey 11 for sure. If I were the Tennessee Titans, I'd be re-signing Corey 11.
What do you think about Femi? What's your confidence level in Femi?
My confidence level in Femi has grown due to the coaching staff. Oh. Now, does that mean that I think he's going to be a full second-round pick and he's going to have this great season or anything like that? No. I still think he's going to be a single-digit sack guy. But I'm not as low on Femi. I would say this. This is the best way to put it. I'm not as low as Femi as I was last year, just because of the staff and with Aaron White caught in there. But I'm not expecting huge, fantastic, great things. I'm just saying I'm just not as low on him anymore. But again, I don't know what to expect because of the injury.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring him up is because I say, okay, you have Harold behind him, the Michigan kid, who looked like he took a step up this past season, a good role player, and say, but you got a guy like Chubb and go, if Femi don't work out for at least one more year, we got Chubb to replace him. Yeah. So,
I can see that.
I mean, so that's kind of how you kind of process it. And he's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
You don't know how much that affects his get off and all those things that are important for those.
His development.
So we shall see. And he sometimes looks like he was getting defensive end and sometimes not.
Yeah.
So that's just the reality of it. And to play that position, to really have a good feel, you got to play. And unfortunately for him, he got injured. So we don't know his development. So going into this season, he's really pretty much, he's a rookie again.
Yeah.
Sorry, he is. And if I'm a coach, I need a security blanket to help me through this process if he doesn't work out, right? You need some veteran former guy that's, kind of a pass rush, guy that can come in kind of a la Key, as I was mentioning, but a different guy probably. That way you have something if it doesn't work. Because you still don't know. He's an experiment. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, well, he's still a projection, right?
Yeah, he's still a projection. Just,
There's still lots of development left for Femi Oladejo. And
I'm hoping he gets it.
That's the biggest question mark really out of that draft class is Femi Oladejo, right? I mean, we all not everybody thought this, but I mean, I'll say at least I did. I thought it was a reach. I didn't like trading back and getting him. I thought he was a day 3 edge rusher. You got to remember, a guy like Femi Oladejo, if you're viewing Ty Simpson in the lens of, well, he should get docked because he only has 15 college starts. Well, Femi Oladejo had less than that at edge in college. And then he comes in here and plays edge, and he's pure projection. And for me, when it comes to pure projection and if he does this and if he does that, or if we teach him this and if we do that, and you have a lot of ifs, that's a day 3 guy. That's not a day 2 guy. That's not a round 2 guy for me if I'm roster building. That's my personal preference. Does not mean that's the only way to do it, but that's my preference. I want my first, second, and third round guys should be as safe as possible with upside. And I don't think he was a safe prospect from that perspective.
He has upside.
He has tons of upside, but he doesn't have a good floor. I don't think his floor is that good. You got to have a little bit higher floor when you're a second round pick.
Dang it, I want him to. Oh man.
I hope I'm proven wrong. I just
right. No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of a reach. I thought they took him a little too high, man. But
and then couple that with the injury. It's just it's devastating for that. For his growth for this particular
there's a
player.
Part of me, I just think he's mechanical.
Yep.
And I don't,
stiff.
Yeah, and I don't see fluid movement like a normal pass rusher. I don't see that. And so
because he's built like an action figure, right?
Man, I mean, looks phenomenal. I get that he looks the part. There's no doubt about that. So we gotta see more out of him, man. That one there is going to be talked about for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he's got that tender body, but then you go on a date with him, and they're boring. They're stiff.
Oh man!
And I really do hope. I do think that I'd be hard pressed to believe that if this coaching staff can't get the best out of Femi, whatever that may be, I'd be hard pressed to figure out that another coaching staff could get more out of Femi. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like this coaching staff is his best shot at developing into something. What that something is, I don't think it's going to ever be second round pick where he was worth, but it could be better than if he had landed somewhere else with a different kind of coaching staff.
I'll be interested to see also how he looks just even coming back in training camp, because it's not just the coaches. It's really what you do in the offseason. So who's this pass rush trainer?
Yep.
How do they help him develop where it becomes reactionary? And reactionaries, I'm talking about the moves at the line of scrimmage, and then no counter moves to those, and it becomes natural and fluid. And then you just do it because you've been doing it so long. So I'd be interested to see how he looks immediately when he comes back, because that'll tell me who he's been working on. You need not just the coach's staff, but you need off season to see where you have come and developed as well. There's different stages. It just doesn't happen overnight because you got some coaches, that are better coaches for you. It takes more. He's got to be full-fledged all in. And if you start being a thinker, that will slow that process. And I don't know what's in his head, because he played middle linebacker, so obviously he's pretty smart. But sometimes smart people aren't quick thinkers. That's a difference.
Well, that may be why he was moved to edge.
Yeah.
In that UCLA defense.
So it just those things have to match and correlate what your mind is doing, and with your body. And sometimes that's why some guys just never turn out to the player that they should be based off their talent.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. We'll talk more Tennessee Titans when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Naturally, it is February, and all those New Year's resolutions that you said you're going to do, and you haven't done it to lose weight. I know I have, and I've kind of laxed a little bit going to the gym, doing some yoga too. But to help with the approach to weight loss is Edge Peptide Hormone Therapy, and they do things a little bit different. We make sure all the patients have extensive lab work and face-to-face conversations in office with our nurse practitioner to create a customized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs. They use only U.S.-based FDA-audited compounding pharmacies because knowing where your peptides come from always, and I mean always, matters. Your Edge will also walk you through the process, guiding your treatment, answering your questions, and supporting you along the way through that process. As well as you get to enjoy access to their in-body scanner to track weight loss and make sure you're maintaining the muscle mass that you have accumulated. As well as you get to lower your A1C, keeping all those cravings in check. And boy, do I have those cravings, especially at night. Gotta fight. And then you get to prioritize protein and having someone guide your journey from start to finish. So call the team at Edge Peptide for all your wellness questions at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878, or you can check them out online at edgepeptide.com.
Cover 2. Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We were talking about Femi Oladejo and how he would play into maybe a rotational piece, probably for this season, because I don't think you can't go into the season, or the off season, I guess, based on his injury, based on his really lack of experience, which leads to a lack of development on the get-go. You can't go into the season with him as a starter. And I don't think they are going to, but they obviously want to turn him into a star. So you have to find bodies there. You got to factor in.
Time out, real quick.
Okay.
Are you going into the season at Winston at safety?
See,
because if
so
you
now you're talking me back into Downs. Caleb Downs at number 4.
Because you have to go into that Winston starter, and I think they're thinking Femi is going to be starter. He's going to learn on the. If I was guessing, now that's why I say backup plan.
Yeah, you got to have a backup plan,
and that's why I keep going this veteran route. Because only way he's going to learn to be a good pass rusher and play the position is, a new position really for him, is he has to do the reps. He's got to be out in game reps, and he has to play. And you want to see how far along he comes, since we didn't get to see any of that last year, really pretty much. After he played 4 or 5 games or so.
Yeah. He made it to, he got injured in the 6th game.
He was
because he was actually having his best game while then he got injured in the Raiders.
Strides, baby steps, but he was growing.
Yeah, best game comparatively.
I think they're going to go in as he's the guy, or close to the guy.
Yeah,
as far
close
as
to the guy. I think that's a good way to put it. Close to the starter.
Yeah, you gotta. These guys that go second, Winston 3rd round, but 1st round, projection. And it's hard because now you're depending on these guys who kind of have shown injuries.
Yeah.
And it's stunting their development and playing time.
Yeah.
So are you going to throw them out there and say, we're just going to make sure we got something as a backup plan if he doesn't get, or, doesn't develop or gets injured again?
Yeah. I mean, and we go back to, for me, the looking at the prospect himself, and we both agree that he was robotic. I think that's a great way for you to great word to use. And then I go look at like David Bailey, Ruben Bain, and even Arvell Reese.
Oh, he don't look like them.
They're so much more advanced and flexible. And they are first round guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why they're in the first round. They look that way. But that's also just the gulf, the Grand Canyon between them.
Now you make me nervous.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so when we talk about second-year jumps, when we talk about players you can depend on when you're evaluating a roster, when you talk about players where they're at in their development, Femi Oladejo still has a way to go. I think when you said you're treating this like his rookie year, I think that is exactly how fans should look at it. Is that fair to the fans? No. Does that mean you should let Mike Bergonzi off the hook for that draft pick? No. But for when you're evaluating the roster, when you're looking and setting expectations for your individual players, we have to understand that Femi Oladejo, this is his rookie year. I know it's not his rookie year, but it's his rookie year. He doesn't have – the problem is we can't turn around and say, well, he can focus on football stuff because he doesn't have – the combine to train for. Mm-hmm. Well, now he's rehabbing. So where's he at in his rehab? We don't know.
Well, he did. He was almost dressed in the last game, right?
Everybody was asking about it.
He was practicing. He was practicing.
What did he get? Did he end up practicing?
Oh yeah, he was practicing. Yeah,
he was practicing. So then he should be able to focus on that. We were talking off the air. Chuck Smith, the former pass rush specialist for the Baltimore Ravens, but everybody calls him Dr. Pass Rush. That's who he needs to be in the lab.
Somewhere of that ilk.
Someone of that.
Yeah.
I don't know who else he's been training, but that's where he needs to go.
Hey, man, we got to see some for real stuff here, man.
You got to approach, if you're Femi Oladejo, you got to approach, hey, call up Javon Curse if you want to, right?
Well, he's been over there.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on those, Titans Players versus Curse web series. Call up Javon Curse and train with him. You need to, if you're Femi Oladejo, you got to attack this offseason with so much dedication to to learning your craft at this position that you have very limited experience with. And now you're in a totally new system on top of that. This is what I worried about Femi Oladejo. Not that he got injured, just how quick could he develop for a second-round pick? The value that you are using. In year 2, he should be a starter. And I tend to think, for me at least, I think he'll be a rotational starter at best this year, which is fine because some of that's going to be because of injury. But is he going to be your starter next year?
You got
in the third season.
You got to start. I mean, let's do comparison. Granted, he was a pass rusher, so that's not fair. But he was a second rounder, and that was Harold Landry. Somebody we know right here. He was a second rounder, but he was a pass rusher, so he already had an advantage over Femi. But we're talking about develop. First year, he probably had, 4 or 5 sacks? And then second year, he kind of took off a little bit and kind of became a somewhat impactful player at defensive end. So we're talking about a guy who had experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're probably different builds, but probably same as far as talent level.
Yeah.
I'm really nervous about where he's standing. They're going to put him out there as a starter. They have no choice. He's
especially as it sits right now.
Yeah, I'm getting my security blanket. I'm going to cover myself if I'm Berganza. I know that.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, that'll do it for us. 3HL's up next. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. And in the meantime.
And in between time.
Peace.